Yeah. Woo. Yes. So welcome to another edition of The Culture. Give yourselves a hand for being here. Yeah. So listen, this is a new year, this is a new location, so it's different for me too. So because when I came out, I said, okay, I gotta come this way or this way. I don't know, but anyhow, I'm glad I'm here because there was some things I had to go through to actually get here, but I'm here more so. Just heard that somebody that I knew died today, and it was kind of like, you know, to me it was reality because people dying every single day, and we joke about stuff and we laugh about it, but the thing is, people dying, you know, and so it had me down a little bit. But when I came in more so, I was like, okay, good. You know, I got something to do, basically, because it keeps me busy. And, you know, just lost my grandmother like 2 weeks ago. So it's a lot going on. So when you have a whole lot going on, you just don't know what to say, how to respond, you know. But I'm here, and you're here. All right? So listen, real quick. We about to get started. I have a guest who is a performer, and the thing is, he's a rap artist, and I believe he's performing with someone else today too. And I had a chance to actually do a track with him, and I'm going to say that he is definitely one to look out for. Matter of fact, you know, he's doing a lot more so. We did a track, I think like 2 tracks more so. So I need you guys to put your hands together for Nikolai.
Spread the eagle's wing, let freedom ring, freedom ring, Martin Luther King, crying out for justice, crying out for peace. All we want is freedom, not blood in the streets. All we want is freedom, true equality. Take darkness from the world, freedom's hard to see. All we want is
drop the slave shackles just to put on mental shackles. Get your mind unraveled, too long we've all been rattled. With the times the battle keeps on changing like a channel. No movement against the current, no oars for us to paddle. Lost without a sail, turned through the breath of God. They took our holy grail when they shipped us off abroad. They hate when we kneel the march was silent. When we popped an arm, they might as well be hanging us from a tree. No charm, 400 years approaching, no movement, just floating. How long you wanna be in that wilderness? How long you gonna sit in bitterness, full of brokenness, motionless? Every day I pray, cop, don't open this. Mind the dashboard of a consciousness has to stay woke, no hope in this country that has enslaved. They caught the home of the brave, but we the chosen of the true king. We don't serve no idols that wave, for no excuse could save the hireling or slave from the terror of flight. Put the groom up the grave, that shit in
freedom. Let our freedom ring, let our freedom ring.
All we want is freedom.
Let our freedom ring, let our freedom ring.
All we want is freedom.
Can you see how it's affecting me? We just want equality, freedom is
all we want is freedom.
By the dawn, early light, leave the hit with last night. Freedom is our birthright.
All we want is freedom.
Oh, say, can you see how your hits affecting me? We just want equality.
All we want is freedom.
By the dawn, early light, leave the hit with last night. Freedom is our birthright.
Let's remove this hatred. Through its blood we're related, in its image created. All your hate is spirit-led, your temple Satan invaded. We were made to love, but throughout time we forsake the sacred. But the voiceless, convincing you seems pointless. Divisions, what you want, the proof is in the one you can point to. Black rain, shower this land again. Puddles full of hate, nowhere to drain. Our pain is their gain, they call it make America great again. And take away freedom of speech, false every day. We'll teach you, sorting the reach. Them scrub the skin will bleach to fit it, but they'll never breach. When will we reach the mountaintop king speech? 45, we must impeach the height in the reach. Kingdom living, we reach to let them know reach. Put your fist up, you with us. Hard shades made from the dust. True equality is a must. Stop riding that hate bus from sea to shining sea. Freedom's what we sing. We don't freedom bells that ring, singing
freedom. Let our freedom ring.
Let our freedom ring. All we want is freedom. Let our freedom ring. Let our freedom ring.
All we want is say, can you see how your hits affecting me? We just want equality, freedom.
All we want is freedom.
By the dawn, early light, leave the
Yeah.
hate with last
Yeah.
night. Freedom is our birthright.
All we want is freedom.
Oh, say, can you see how your hate's affecting me? We just want equality.
All we want is freedom.
By the dawn, early light, leave the hate with last night. Freedom is our birthright.
All we want is
Oh,
freedom.
say, can you see how your hate's affecting me? We just want equality. Freedom is
All
hard
we
to
want is
see.
freedom.
By the dawn, early light, leave the hate with last night. Freedom is our birthright.
All we want is freedom.
Oh, say, can you
Yeah.
see how your
Yeah.
hate's affecting me? We just want equality.
All we want is freedom.
By the dawn, early light, leave the hate with last night. Freedom is our birthright.
All we want is freedom. Come on, y'all, make some noise. Yeah.
My next guest, I heard a lot about him. Matter of fact, I did my research because I had to do my research because it was demanded, to do the research, which is fine, When I did my research, come to find out, this guy does a whole lot in reference to the theater. Award-winning actor, and he's been all over the place, and I'm so privileged to have him on the show. Can you please give a hand for A.R. Garcia? Thank you for coming on the show. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So just by what I heard about you, Yolanda, she just bragged about you, which is a good thing, because good name is better
Thank
than
you,
riches and
Yolanda.
gold. So that's a great thing. So tell us how you got started into the playwright, I should say.
I started in theater almost by accident.
Okay.
The first time I started writing since I was a young man, but the first time I ever wrote anything that resembled a script for theater was I wrote a 13-page argument.
Wow.
Which was the first thing I ever wrote that resembled a script,
Wow.
which is 12 years ago. And I sent it out to a couple of friends, and they said, well, we want to know how this argument came about.
Right.
And it was just a man and a woman sitting in a cafe having an argument about their relationship.
Okay.
And I sent it to, like I said, I sent it to a couple of friends, and they said, well, how did they get here?
Right.
And so I said, all right, well, let's dive into that. And as a novice writer, 140 pages later,
Wow.
which is way too much, I had...
That's a paper. That's an essay.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I got it when I was in college.
Right.
That's the last thing I had to do before I graduated. But
a standard script should be like 60 to 90 pages, you know.
Wow.
So I was like way over.
Okay.
But I had my first play,
Okay.
which is She Hates Coffee.
Okay.
And years later, I had a client, and he read it. He's a writer, and he said, "This is good."
That's the actual play you're about to come out with, right?
Yes, She Hates
in
Coffee.
February, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And he said, "This is good. It just has to be a lot shorter." And
Okay.
then I had another client that said, "You wrote a play?" So I was just telling people, like,
Right.
I ended up writing a play, and he said, "I know a director in New York.
Okay.
She does Broadway and off-Broadway shows."
Mm-hmm.
And they connected me, and next thing you know, I'm
There you go.
in a theater festival, and
Wow.
there it is.
Now I understand. That's great. That's great. I do understand that you. When you finally knew that you were in award status, how did you feel? Now be honest, because I know how I feel. Trust me. So how did you feel?
I'm the type of man that I believe you always got to be working,
Absolutely.
and I'm very goal oriented. I work as hard as anybody can. I have a great team. I have a huge team, and they work hard. But I believe, if you have a team, you got to work the hardest.
Yes, you do.
So, as great as it is to have an achievement or achievements,
Right.
I never get to celebrate them because I'm always on to the next thing.
Wow.
So it often feels weird to see that.
Why?
Well, because I'm always
Okay,
on to the
just
next thing.
okay, because you never sit. Okay, so you're never sitting to actually see that.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just. It's an amazing feeling and it's an amazing accomplishment. And
Right.
they always say, my friends always say, let's go celebrate. And I always say, well, I got to work. You know, we got to do the next thing. So I kind of never let it settle.
But I would say I understand what you're saying. Sometimes, and you know, in your journey, because you are truly doing like some great things. I even was like, wow, you know, it's so funny how you even hear of people that do things more. So, for instance, there are people that I know that won certain awards that I've never heard of, but they're behind the scene. People behind the scene are doing it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So the thing is, it's like because everybody want to be in the front. You know, doing well. I want to do this. I want to do this. But the work in the paper is behind the scene.
It's all behind the scenes.
Okay. so basically, you know, I just encourage you. You know, sometimes, you know, just take a sit back and say, you know what, that's me. And it's not, you know, it's nothing to be conceited about. It's something you accomplish, you work for. You know what I mean? You know, because that's a great thing. You know, so I just wanted to.
I totally get it. I always feel the urgency
Okay.
to get the art out.
Right.
I always feel the urgency to push our people forward in theater and
Absolutely.
in film because we're not as relevant and we're not allowed, or we haven't been allowed to be put in a position where we're as impactful as we can be.
I agree.
So I always feel the urgency that you got to keep working and you got to keep doing.
Right.
So you can get the art out and so that you can put people of color in a position where they can shine.
So with what you're doing now, because I'm sure you have a vision and you have a goals because you're working, you know. So and I know this is a career for you rather than a job.
Yes.
So being as though this is a career, how big do you want to get with your career?
I had two parts
Okay.
to my vision. One was to get my art, to get my writing out.
Okay.
And the other was a bigger part of the vision, which was to be able to push people of color forward in this industry.
Right.
And I don't think that there is a place big enough because we're always so marginalized. So I always feel like you got to keep working, you got to keep striving, you got to keep pushing,
Right.
and you have to work twice as hard as they do because we're not in the position that we should be in.
I agree.
So, for instance, to go back to how does it feel to win awards, or you know, I've won this award, I've been nominated, but it's not enough because it's still not where we should be.
You know what? When you said it's not enough, it's funny you said that because true artists, they never stop working until they rest. You know, for instance, you had Aretha Franklin. She was working up until, you know,
Till she
died. So, you know, true artists, basically, they keep working. They keep working. You know, even when they hear the negative, they keep working because they're going to hear negative. They're going to hear people say, oh, it's just them. Because I was always told familiarity breeds content. And when people are used to you doing something, they're like, okay, but when you kind of like branch out and do other things with other people, they're like, wait a minute, I didn't know you used to do that, but you've been around me all this time. So I understand what you're saying, and working is actually going to bring more so results because I think I said it on my last show. Yeah, I did. I said it on my last show that destiny has a lot to do with you don't know it. You know, nobody knows destiny yet until they're able to rest and see their work for them. You know, so I appreciate you saying that. That brought some confirmation to me. So,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yes.
If you're put in a position where you can actually be seen and do something about it.
Yeah.
And I think the problem for artists is always that we live in a space where we're like, I have this dream. We get into like this Martin Luther King thing, right? Where we're like, I have a dream, I have a dream, I have a dream. The problem with having a dream is that as long as you're always dreaming, you're never doing. So for me, the the thing is that once you've had that dream and you know that that is what you want, God, the universe, whatever hits you, right? For me, it's God. But once you know that that's your purpose, then you need to get up from that bed where you had that dream. You need to get up. You need to get up and then go work for that dream. Every day. All day.
I agree. Wow. You sure you're not a preacher? I'm joking.
That was a long time.
You said a long time? Okay. Listen, hey, it is an altar right there. But that's great because, like I said before, while you're talking, it's confirming some stuff for me. Because I always tell people that you're always here to learn. You know, you never know everything. But, you know, you get those folks that say, well, I know it, I got it. You never know anything, you know, or everything. So I appreciate you saying that because you actually brought some stuff to me. I want to ask you really quickly before you go. She hates coffee. Tell me really quickly how, okay, first of all, let me ask you this real quick. The challenges, do you have any challenges in reference to writing? The reason why I say that is because sometimes, you know, you hear people say, I got writer's block, more so. When do your challenges come in reference to writer's block?
I don't believe in writer's block.
Okay.
I believe you either have something to write about or you don't. So, I mean,
where you getting from? I like him. We should put you on some other shows, but it's cool. Yeah.
We often try to sugarcoat our ability to not be able to create, right? So, so if you just don't have anything, you just don't have it. That's okay. There are times where I don't have anything. She Hates Coffee is my 4th, 5th play off Broadway.
Wow.
I have a movie on Amazon. I have I've done advertising, you name it, for Robert De Niro. Like I've done magazines, like I've done plenty. But then there's times where I don't have anything to write.
Right.
There are writers that get up and write every single day. And then there are writers that write whenever it hits them.
Right.
Right? The writer's block sometimes, you know, I mean, I think it's a fancy word for, you can't force something that you're feeling. You can't, or that you're not feeling, right? Because maybe that's what writer's block is, right? Something that you're not feeling.
Right.
So why push something? And I believe writer's block is the cause for so much garbage. Well, I'm sorry.
I will never write again. No. No, I mean, no, it's a joke. It's a joke.
It's to me. I mean, why write something or create something in any art form that is not going to touch other people? I believe that if you're an artist, your purpose is to create.
Right.
You can't control the perception of that creation, of that art. But if you don't have anything, that's okay. Maybe it's the process that you're going through in order to create something. And that's just as important, if not more important, than sitting down and writing. Because if you don't go through anything, if you don't feel anything, if you don't receive anything, then what are you writing about?
Wow, I love it. I love it. So really quickly, I know people want to see She Hates Coffee because I know it's coming out February 8th or 9th, I think.
February 8th through the 10th.
So can you tell them where they can go to actually get tickets and they can see your show? Because I know I'm supposed to be coming too. So yeah,
awesome. Sure. She Hates Coffee will be at the Cumble Theater at Long Island University in Brooklyn, New York, February 8th, 9th, and 10th. And you can get your tickets at shehatescoffee.com.
Thank you so much for coming. Oh, tell them they can reach you because I know your PR's here.
Oh. you can reach.
You're doing a good job too, by the way.
She's awesome.
Yes, she is.
You can reach me at
Glad to know you.
AR Garcia on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the show at She Hates Coffee on all social media platforms.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
AR Garcia, you guys. Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's give him one more hand, you guys. That was great. That was great. So we're definitely going to have him back. We have a next guest I'm definitely acquainted with. He's family, actually. Yeah, he's family. I can say that. I think I can say it. Yeah, I can say it. All right. He's married to my cousin. Yeah, my cousin. Yeah. So, her sister actually plays on Insecure. What's Natasha, right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I brought him on because I'm seeing the stuff that he's doing, and he is. I must say, I thought this is the next Martin Luther King. You know. but I'm so proud to have him. Please give a hand for Khalil Rogers, you guys. All right. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man.
I called you the Martin Luther King.
Don't do it.
Why? No. Tell us. I know you're in ministry, and you actually have a church now. Mm-hmm. More so. Tell us the process of actually getting. Because I know a lot of people have churches. But I want to know the process of you getting your church and why you actually decided to accept the call, I should say.
Man, to be honest, I fell into this gig, man.
Okay.
I grew up hating church. Hated everything about it. I hated the music. I hated the preaching. I hated the hooping and hollering. The over-emotionalism. It just didn't cater to my sensibilities.
I agree.
As an African-American male. Growing up in West Philly. And but I was forced to go every week. But one thing that I always appreciated was Sunday school because that was the time that I got to grind them up and ask questions. Right. Played the streets, did my thing out there, realized that wasn't for me because I kept messing up PAC money. And that'll wind you up in the river. Yeah, PAC money. Yeah. So PAC money.
You good though, right?
No, no. So,
I'm joking.
Yeah. So I
want that.
Yeah, I realized that that game wasn't for me. The street life wasn't for me. And I had a cousin who I was real close to. He was 16, I was 15. Him and his homies went and robbed the drug house. He winds up getting killed.
Wow.
Light came on. Started paying attention to the sermons, started listening. We got a new pastor who Dr. Damon B. Jones Sr., Bible Way Baptist Church, 52nd and Master. Yeah. And dude really seen something in me that I didn't know was there.
Right. Started
hanging out with him. He took me everywhere he was going, all over the country, pastoral conferences, ministers' conferences. And, at that point, I guess that's when I realized that the Lord was calling me to something. I did not know what that was. I definitely did not think it was preaching. Went to college, the rest of the story. Yeah. Married your beautiful cousin. And, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. 15 years strong. And, he came to me. I was sitting in my wife and I were coming from the Cheesecake Factory. Mm-hmm. And he called me from a conference, and he's like, yo, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So he's like, yeah, you're on my mind. And I didn't know, he didn't know why, I didn't know why. And he said, I think the Lord may be calling you to preach. I never told him that.
Right.
Never asked to preach, never asked to stand into nobody's pulpit. And to the day, I've been preaching almost 11 years and never once.
So where's the actual church now?
My church is at 25th and Jefferson, Pinal Baptist Church. Yeah, right in the heart of North Philly.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's good. So, the reason why I said it is good because there's a few churches that I attended just to go, and they were talking about outreach and how I am. I'm like, really? And the reason why I said that because the church was no aspersions against the church, but this church was like somewhere like nowhere, if that makes sense. It was just like grass. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing was I asked my cousin, I said, is there any poppy stores around here? Because the reason why I did that was because I said, how are they going to witness? Who? Because I think a lot of times what we do is we in-reach rather than outreach, because we preach to people who are already saved.
Absolutely.
We talk when we do a lot of that. We shout to people that's already saved because the church really. I always say this: the church really don't need us. Well, they don't because it's the world need us. Right. So because we in the church and we do stuff repetitively over and over, and we're still the same.
Right.
So and I know that you're the opposite in reference to us being the same, because the reason why I say that is because I see you, outreaching. So to go back to people that you hung with more so, how was that? How was that to, go back to people, like, hey, listen, because I know they look at you different, how was that?
Absolutely. It could be weird because for me, I'm just Lil from 52nd Street.
Right.
That's how I always see myself.
Right.
However, some people, pastor, and that comes with a certain level of, standard
Right.
That people expect you to uphold. But for me, as a human being and just being where I'm from, I got to be relatable.
Absolutely.
And so, the cats that know me and who know me from back in the day, from the streets or whatever, it's kind of like a weird space. And sometimes they can be the hardest people to reach, too. Sometimes, to be honest with you, I'm not really reaching them until I'm having to bury one of them. Or, do somebody's funeral or something happen. And then it's like, oh, now they want to pay attention.
Wow.
But it could be difficult because some people really know who you are and they know what you used to do.
Yes,
and sometimes people want to remind you of that.
Yes, they do.
But yeah, it could be weird. It could be weird.
So being a young pastor, more
Yes.
so, how old are you?
39.
39, okay.
So I ain't that young.
No. Well, you up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 40, so yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But still, being a young pastor, because I know some older pastors, but being a young pastor more so, and having a family, how is that juggled more so, if you can answer that real quick?
It's difficult. I don't believe that there is any balance at all. I know people talk about it, oh, you got a balance between family and ministry and career. But to be honest, man, ministry is a call to hurting, broken, oppressed, marginalized people.
Right.
And there's always going to be a natural imbalance with that. And for me, in my mind, if I ever feel like that I can juggle it and I can balance it, then why do I need him? So there's a feeling of inadequacy with me, and it keeps me on my knees. Lord, help me, because I can't do this by myself. If I have to juggle this myself, what happens when flesh gets in the way? When I got to prepare a Bible study and my wife want to go to the mall and hang out, well, if I make that decision, I'm going to crack. So it has to be him. He's the balance, because if I do it, game over.
Wow. That's great. So, real quick, to kind of like capitalize everything, I wanted to ask you a question. You said that you didn't know. You didn't know exactly what you were being called to more so. When you finally answered the call, and I just need you to say this for people more so. When you finally answered the call, was it great?
Actually,
I'm saying it for a reason.
Yeah, actually what made me answer the call, and I told you one of my cousins got killed. That's what brought me to Christ.
Right. But when you finally answered it,
Right.
how, the feeling, I'm asking for a reason.
It wasn't fun.
Okay. All right.
And in fact, it was another tragedy.
Okay.
Another cousin of mine got killed. And he used to be Muslim, and I led him to Christ. And my initial sermon was his funeral.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my initial sermon. That was my first time actually standing before people and preaching the gospel, was at my cousin's funeral.
Wow.
So for me, it wasn't fun. It was very uncomfortable. When Jesus he told his disciples to count the cost, if you're going to follow me, you better count the cost. That's real for me.
Right.
It's real for me. So, when I see people quick to want to rush into a pulpit, particularly wanting to get a middle seat, better brace yourself and make sure you built for it. Because if not, you're going to fold.
Well, from there, tell everybody where they can reach you. They can come to your church and be, just fellowship.
Pinal Baptist Church.
I said that for a reason because I want to go on more, but, they're telling me.
Appreciate that.
Pinal
Baptist Church, 2515 West Jefferson Street, Philadelphia, PA, 19121. My name is Khalil Rogers, and, you can find me on Facebook, Khalil Rogers, without a D. Yep, that's how you spell it. And, yeah, so get at me.
All right, thanks.
God bless you.
Cuz.
Thank you.
Oh, you can take it. All right, great. So, give me a hand one more time, you guys. So we're going to take a 15-minute commercial break. Is that cool? All right, so, I was seeing this young man on Instagram, and I know his mom, but I didn't even know that was your son, but I was seeing him on Instagram, and he's funny, and I saw him doing some stuff, basically just like funny stuff with I don't know if it's sister or not, or okay, sister. So I said, oh wait, I want to have him on because technically this show is for millennials anyway. So, and we have had a whole lot of millennials on in the past. So I'm like, why not bring him on? Please give a hand for Nafis Morgan, you guys. How you doing? So, Mr. Actor.
Yeah.
So I understand that you, well, when I saw your stuff on Instagram, I was like, floored, only because you're funny more so. Some people not funny. No, they're not funny. They're just not funny. And I laugh sometimes. You know how you text somebody and they send you something, you just put the laughing thing, the emoji just to say you're laughing? Well, I do that all the time. I'm corny. But anyway, tell us how you got started into acting.
Okay. It all started when I was like
Wait,
a little.
You nervous?
Huh?
Are you nervous?
No, not really.
Okay. All right.
It all started when I was like little, and like I used to like watch like Disney
You
Channel.
said little. How old are you?
I'm only 15.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I was watching Disney Channel, and I always like wondered like I really want to be like on stage. So when I actually started like singing at church on stage, it made me just want to be like do more than that and like be able to like be on screen. So
Okay. Now, I want to ask you a question. What makes you different from other comedians? Because I know you said you're a comedian, and you are, but what makes you different from them? Because, you know.
I'm natural and I'm real.
Natural.
Like, yeah, I don't think it's this time for like to fake anything. So I'm more to be like real and like let it flow and be natural with me.
But your comedy comes from life.
Yes.
Experiences, more so. That's the best comedy. So, if you had to pick certain people to actually that you want to work with in the future, who would those people be?
I definitely want to meet Kevin Hart.
Okay.
I want to see him and Tiffany Haddish.
Okay.
Those two people.
Yeah, they're great. Now, do you so basically they're your inspirations?
Yes.
More so. Okay, so that's what's up. So let me ask you a question. All right. When it comes to your writing, how does it come to you? I asked someone about their writing too, but there's a lot of writers in here. So how does the writing come to you? Because everybody's different. You know, some people may get it out. You know, because I hear people, you'd be surprised. I hear people say, "Well, I write. The Lord sends me out on the grass, and I sit like this, and He brings it to me." How do you write?
Because I don't know. Maybe I think I write from like lessons that I've been taught in life.
Okay.
Like through a
Well,
lesson.
I know that, but okay, this is what I'm saying. All right, say for instance, if you see, I guess you are telling me, but if you see something more so, how does it hit you? You know, like just like, oh my gosh, I got to write about that.
If I can connect with it.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could connect with it, then that would mean like I would basically can write about it. But right now, I'm not really writing about anything. So.
Okay. Now you remember what Garcia said. Artists, they keep writing. You keep writing. So you don't, maybe you're not writing now, but keep writing more so. And I want to say this to you because I see bigger. Sometimes we don't see bigger than ourselves, you know, and it took a long time for me to actually like who I am. I'm 40. It took me 39 years to like who I am. Okay? So I'm saying this to you that you're 15, you said?
Yep.
You're going to grow up and see some stuff, all right? Especially in the industry. So when you see that more so, don't get deterred. I don't know why I'm going this way, but I don't know. It's just what I say. But I see bigger in you more so. And you have a mother. And I want to ask you a question. When it comes to your mom pushing you, you know, is it sometimes? I'm gonna be honest. I know I got you. She ain't gonna do nothing to you. All right. When it comes to her pushing you, you know, does it sometimes like, all right, mom, I got it, or I'm gonna get it?
Yes.
It does.
All the
Tell
time.
us.
Sometimes like
She ain't gonna do.
I know she pushes me a lot, but sometimes it's like at that annoying stage where I just like don't feel like doing it at all. But I know that she's not going to stop until I actually do it. So it actually keeps me motivated, and I have like a good support team with my family and friends who keep me motivated at all times.
That's good. That's good. So, what are you doing next in reference to, like, because I know you always got something coming out. So, what do you have?
Yeah. I'm recently going to be acting in a play at school. It's called Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's a
Good.
Shakespeare play. and I'm going to be starting classes at Art and Theater for Shakespeare.
Wow, that's great. Shakespeare, that's good. This is good. Just to have you on, plus the fact that, you, like I said before, the reason why I get excited when I see young black men doing certain things is because of the fact that the way we looked at, not just black, I'm not going to even say that, but just young people, period, if I can say that. They're being like shot down, you know. The society has already said they're not going to be anything, you know, and the person we got in office right now, you know, you don't care. So, but, you know, my mom said keep praying for him. But at the same time, when it comes to you more so, I am really proud of you.
Yeah.
I am. I'm proud of you more so. I'm not your dad, but I'm just saying. She probably like, oh, okay, but no, but I just want you to know that I'm really proud of you because, and I say that to a lot of young people because you got to keep saying it because all they hear is stop doing it, don't do that, pick the baby up, go get this, and that's all they hear, you know. And I know you don't hear it with your mom, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm sure you have friends that you know that may can tell you some stuff more so. So. Thank you for coming more so.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to actually more stuff from you. And I actually want to, you know what a monologue is?
Yes.
Okay, I want to bring you back for a monologue.
Okay, that would
Okay?
be nice.
Yeah, I want to bring you back for a monologue. I'm going to talk to Cherie so that you can do a one-man monologue.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, y'all give it up for Nafis Morgan. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Give it up for him one more time, you guys. All right, so let's see. How can I introduce her? So I'm joking. No, but she, I know she's a songstress. She does hair. She does a lot and more so, and she has like a whole village of kids. I'm joking. No, but no, I'm so proud of her as well. I want you guys to give it up for Martina Williams, guys. Hey, how you doing? It's good to have you on. Have a seat. So, I did not know you was a songwriter.
Really?
No.
Yeah. It's one of those closeted things that I kind of was going to keep
Ain't
to
nothing wrong with
myself.
that.
Yeah.
I like the dogs. I'm joking. No, they're nice. They're nice. No, it's a joke. But you look really nice. No, you look really nice. Songwriter. Tell us how you became a songwriter.
Okay. Well, a long time ago, I used to be like known as the Philly Hook girl. So
The who?
Philly Hook girl.
What's
So
that?
if there's an up and coming rapper, I'm singing a hook. So
Oh, okay, fully. Okay,
yeah.
good.
So it got to the point where some of the things that they wanted me to sing about was
you can say it on.
well, it was questionable for
Okay.
me. It was kind of like I didn't know how to say, I can't say these words, you know, and still be, you know, used. So I would come up with a strategy. I would say, you know what? Let me write it. Just tell me what your song is about, because I didn't even want to hear the words. I didn't want to hear the lyrics. So I started doing that,
Right.
and then eventually it morphed into something more. It morphed into, well, I'm writing for them. Can I write something for me? You know. And then I started writing my own material, and then that even changed again, and it went into, it was actually R&B. Back when I started, I was a
That's cool,
teenager.
okay.
And I was singing R&B, and then I used to say, "Oh, I can't write gospel. I can't write." I was saved, but I just thought I can't write gospel.
Oh, I
But then the
understand.
Lord was dealing with me. He dealt with me, you know, on several occasions, and He said, "You have to be responsible for what you're saying, what you're putting out in the world."
Right.
So, you know, I actually took that to heart, and you know,
Started writing.
yeah.
So, I know you're juggling family, you're juggling the ministry. You know, when I'm gonna be honest with you, when I heard you sing, I was like, I said, oh my gosh, Mom, she can sing. And I came up to you, I said, I didn't know you could sing like that. But I was blown away because she can really sing, and I don't do that to a lot of people, but she can really sing. So, with the gift that you have, because I always tell people, singing is a talent, it's not a gift. A gift you don't have to pay back nothing for it, you know. But with your talent and your gift more so, and you're using it for the Lord, was it hard to break away from the R&B scene to go?
No, because the whole time I was kind of like getting convicted, you know, with singing secular music, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I love songs, But for me, the Lord was telling me, this is what you need to sing. And he would do that by sending me a song. I never really sat down and, let me write a song. I would just hear something and say, oh, I feel a song. And I would get my tape recorder, and I would literally sing a whole song in its entirety.
Wow.
And then later play it back and feel like, oh, where'd that come from?
Wow.
Yeah.
When you first sung at Mount Airy, who actually noticed that and told you, brought you to the forefront?
We had a gospel cafe.
Okay.
There was a gospel cafe.
Okay.
And you could just come up and do, like some whatever.
Open mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I said, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm just try it, And I always worried about how I would be received, which is why I was kind of like, I'll stay in the background. But I did it. I sang a song I wrote, and then I got yelled at. Why didn't you tell us you could sing? Why didn't you, you could have helped the choir out? And,
Now, you could really help the choir out. No, don't do that to me.
But
I say it.
yeah.
But go ahead, I'm sorry.
But, and then it was kind of, then people came and started to cultivate, that gift. Because I never really I wanted to sing for the Lord.
Right.
I didn't necessarily want to be the lead singer, And
Isn't it always the ones that don't want to be singing? That's the. So, as far as writing, who do you want to write for? Like,
everybody. I can write for you.
You write for me?
Yeah. But everybody, the young lady that sang the
yeah. Oh, she left
yeah.
me.
But I heard something in her voice, and a lot of times anybody there's what I was going to say is when songs come to me, it doesn't necessarily, it's not for me. So that's why I knew it was more than just me, because
Wow.
I'm
good.
influenced by all different genres of music. I love country, I love jazz, opera, everything, you name it. And I can hear a particular style and say, you know what? There's a song here. I write it and I say, well, okay, there's a man, there's somebody, and it's not me, so
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. Really quickly, as far as the family, how do they receive?
Well, my son is my
Is he here?
biggest critic.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Why you look like that?
even if I thought I did something flawlessly, he is always going to find something.
He should.
Yeah.
You know why he should?
Yeah.
Because you don't need. I always tell people, if you have the true friends are that can tell you about yourself.
Yeah.
That say, no, you was wrong. Because I have people around me that say, Bashir, that was wrong. And I got to humble myself, and say,
Yeah.
okay, you know what, it was wrong. But people that's always like, you know what, you did good. That was horrible. You did good.
Yeah.
I believe the Bible says, beware of men that always flatter you.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's all right, son.
Yeah.
That's
So
a good thing.
he's the one. Yeah. When
Okay.
it comes to everything.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you back to sing.
Really?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna have you back because she can really sing. I'm gonna have you back to sing. Can you tell everybody where they can reach you if they want to get in touch with you so they can? Yeah.
Well, I recently started a business called 5M Creative Group.
Okay.
So it is an umbrella company that has, of course, it's for songwriting. I'm a playwright. And
Okay.
also
All
I'm going to be
these
launching
gifts.
a children's book series. So under that, you can, there's a plethora of things there. But my 5M Creative Group at gmail.com. You can reach me there.
Okay.
And Martina Something Special on Instagram.
Something special. Okay. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming on. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Let's give her one more hand, you guys. All right. So, wow, all this talent in the room. All right, welcome back to the culture, you guys. Give yourselves a hand. All right, so my next guest, he came to my church to preach, and he could preach, not just preach, but he can preach the word, and I like to hear the word. I don't, people, you can do the hoop and the holler afterwards, after I received it, but I like to hear the word because it challenges me to go home and not be the same. But I didn't know he was doing some other stuff. But I am so privileged to have Grammy Award-winning Keith Hauser on the show. Please give him a hand, guys. What's up, brother? Don't do that. What's up? How you doing, man? Yeah, you have a seat here.
All right.
So, what's up?
Nothing much.
Yeah, I made sure I got it right because, Sims, he said nominated.
Right.
And
right.
then you turned around and was like, no, Grammy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a good thing because everybody don't have a Grammy.
Right.
So that's a good thing. So tell us how you actually got started into the industry because I'm going to go somewhere else still.
In the industry?
The industry.
It really came from being a pew baby. I was, a preacher said that his parents, they forced them, so they were always making them go. And so I'm a PK.
Okay.
So I didn't really have options.
Okay.
I was born on a Sunday, in church the next Sunday.
Ooh.
I've been in church all my life. And so, my brother Khalil said, church was boring me because I had to do it. And so I got to the place where I was just bored with it. Like, I need to be outside playing and stuff. But my father bought an organ, and we were at the mall, and he put it in the house. And he spent so much money on it. My mom said, somebody going to play this thing or somebody going to get hurt.
Right.
I learned how to play it.
Somebody gonna get hurt.
Yeah, I had the talent. I shifted through a bunch of instruments. But growing up in an old school Black Baptist church where there were no rules to singing, Deacon just starts the song in any key and you got to find it. I actually developed an ear for playing. And
Right.
so because I've been around it, it was just all in me.
Right.
And so I was playing in church all the time.
Okay.
And then being in the world, but not technically of the world,
Right.
there's music all around us.
Yes, it is.
But chords are the same language throughout everything. And so I realized that I could help in the school play. I could help with the singers around school, but it all wasn't gospel. So
Right.
that kind of launched me into music in general.
Right. So I know I saw a couple of things with Ashford and Simpson and, right?
Ashford and Simpson,
Yeah. And I saw some other stuff, and I was like, okay. Just to ask you a question, because I know you are a pastor.
Yes.
More so being in music, because I know a lot of people say, well, I'm a musician first,
Right.
and then a pastor. What
Right.
are you?
What am I?
Yeah, because I know you're a pastor. So.
I'm just Keith Pelzer.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
that.
Keith Pelzer.
You know what, brother?
Yes.
You know what? The reason why I like that is because
Right.
people are like, oh no, I'm a pastor first.
Right.
And music is second, and then when they get up to preach, Jesus, they start
Right.
singing. So
Right.
But
They have identity crisis.
man,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
adults didn't have ADD. I'm serious. I thought adults didn't have ADD, but they do.
Right.
They do. So I could joke like this with you. So,
Yes.
But with juggling the church and music, how was that for you?
For me, it's not a juggle.
Okay.
Because there's a famous scripture we all know, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding.
Right.
It's the place where I try to lean to my understanding that I started answering people by force rather than to deal with life as God has given it to me. And he will direct your path. When I got to a place of having a peace of mind, I realized that I can't do without depending. And so everything there was to do, I always learned to depend on God to see me through it. So even through judgment, I'm a PK. I'm in church every Sunday. And what I realized when I started pastoring to preach, I would go to preach places and people would talk to me more about my secular life to the point where I'm like, well, I don't feel like preaching now. You got me here to preach, and I'm talking about music industry and, oh, how was it meeting Will Smith and how was it, chilling with Pay? But I'm kind of like, okay, it seems like you want the life that people were telling me I don't need to be around. And so success is success. Industry is industry. Destination is destination. And then you have to understand the difference between sacred and secular. Because my wife and I, we don't go out on sacred dinners. It's a secular dinner, if you will. We go out to eat. We don't play Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross on our anniversary night.
You sure?
And so somebody had to make a DeBarge song, and that's not a praise and worship song. And so, like my sister Martina said, we end up, dealing with our phobia is about what other people say rather than what God is saying. because God always kept the protection around me, because before I entered my mother's womb, he knew me. And so the path that he designed for me, I'm a witness that when you seek first the kingdom, you get additions. So I realized a lot of my success, Grammy was an addition.
How about that?
Because the song that I'm most known for, Jill Scott, I did a song with her called He Loves Me. Karen Clark Sheard cut it. Beyonce cut the song. Jill can't do a concert without singing the song. And the chords for that song I got while Daddy was talking in the pulpit. They were called talk chords.
Yeah.
And I went and recorded them in my church suit, and I lit candles because I wasn't, I didn't smoke the room up with what other people did. So I had to create my own smoke, which was from incense.
God bless you.
I'm in the world, but not of it, okay? And so, but I was still able to accomplish things that other people didn't. And then there's a time in your life where I want to touch on something our brother said earlier about the creativity and writer's block.
Garcia.
And what Garcia, he said about writer's block, and I love it because he helped me out. I'm kind of like, recently people are like, what are you doing lately? I'm like, I'm not doing music at the moment, but music is always here.
Right.
What I need to do next is already here.
Right.
So when the opportunity comes, when the time comes, when the call comes, I'm on it.
I'm on it.
Sidebar, Faith Evans, after 5 years of preaching and pastoring, Faith Evans calls up, oh, I need a song. I like what y'all do. This is from a relationship 6 years back in studio. We end up doing a song with her that we did with Jasmine Sullivan that didn't get picked. We turned it in for Keisha Cole, didn't get picked. Turned it for somebody else, didn't get picked.
Amen.
Faith Evans cuts it, and the song is nominated. So I'm now at that point 8 nominations at Grammys, and I'm doing what God has told me to do in the process. I'm interrupted in mission. Is more so the thing. It's being interrupted. So how do you balance it? Most people say, how do you balance it? You don't worry about trying to balance it, because when you start to balance, you're like a double-minded man. It's unstable in all his ways.
Brother, I'm about to sit at your feet. I'm joking. No. You are spending some knowledge, and that's appreciated. It's appreciated. I want to ask you something really quickly. And a lot of people say this, and I don't know why they say it, but
go ahead, dig. I'll answer it.
Oh yeah, I'm about to. Eartha Kitt said something, and I always go back and look at some of their interviews.
Not Marcus, darling.
Huh?
Okay,
No.
Okay.
No, no, not that one.
Okay.
Not that one. No, not Boomerang. Not that one. Ew.
Eartha Kitt, gotcha.
Jesus. Yeah. Oh, but she said something. She said that people always talk about when people are successful, they have haters. She said there are no haters. She said if you think there's a hater, then it's you.
Okay. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. How do you deal with that?
The way I deal with that is, especially in preaching, I try not to use the word haters in the foot. Sometimes you do it as a pastor. You actually get that word out, but you don't lean on it.
You tell your haters that I'm
my haters. People that worry about haters they have
Absolutely.
a success phobia again. And what the problem is that we don't understand significance in success.
Yes.
Because if you chase for success is just all about you. It's about you reaching something, but when you reach it, you need the audience in order to feel good about it.
That's right.
When it's about significance, you don't need your name in spotlights. People can find out 20 years later, and it doesn't matter. It's a Joseph situation. At this point, we're not even worried about. Y'all were my haters. Y'all put me in this place, but now I'm here because God meant it for my good.
Yeah.
And so when I understand what God's intentions are and see it in his eyesight, with cross eyes, when I see it the way he tells me to see it, I really don't have to deal with the haters because I'm not chasing success. Success is kind of like a consequence of reaching for significance. So it's a consequence, which means it happens. There's a consequence of things that happen. You get in the car, you drive down the street. As a consequence, people will try to run you off the road because you're trying to go where you're going.
Right.
You got to stop
And
at a
they get
light
hit, too.
or you
They
get
get
green
hit.
light,
Yeah.
as a consequence.
Yeah.
So a lot of my success that I can say is a consequence of understanding your purpose in life and significance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So, if anyone wanted to get in touch with you, I know that your wife is. Let me say this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Your wife is on
Yes.
it. She's
Yes.
on it. And when I say she on it, because I believe my program director called her, and she said, "Well, she got to check." And I like thorough people. I like
Yes.
people that are thorough in reference to or just basically being organized.
Right.
I cannot stand when people not organized. Maybe it's me. I have OCD.
Right.
So when I see it, it's like, what? So I get, I guess you kind of get like agitated.
Oh, yeah.
But I applaud you. for
Yeah,
even
I
having
do
your wife.
too. Big shout out to my wife, Tina Pelzer.
Yeah.
On point.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So let everybody know where they can get in touch with you.
You can get in touch with me. I'm Keith Pelzer on Facebook, and you can reach me there on Instagram. KPKISAP is my Instagram tag. And so that's where you can reach me at, or at Southern Baptist Church, 5th of Venango in North Philadelphia.
Yo,
You can
wait, real
reach me.
quick.
Yes.
Yo, when we went to that church, I'll lie to you. I was like, okay, because you know how Pastor Drinks is. Sometimes we go to churches and it's like,
Right.
And then, but when we went to your church, I couldn't sit down. No, his church, they all can sing. All of them, like every last one. I was like, oh, these jokers can sing. But that's a good thing, because I was like,
Except for me.
oh, they can talk. All I can say. Well, no, thank you for coming. I gotta actually talk to you when we get during the break. But thank you for coming on, and yo, give him a hand, y'all.
Right. Thank you.
All right, so that was great, y'all. Give him one more hand, y'all. All right, so I believe that was great, and we'll be right back. We're gonna take one short break, and I'll be right back for the final thought. Okay. Culture, give yourselves a hand. So, real quick, my final thought is dream, and someone has said it before. Dreams are just what they are. More so, we dream about stuff because maybe we ate something at night, and we dream about chips chasing us. And then we wake up and say, I think that was a sign from God that people were chasing me. No. Sometimes when you are dreaming and you have nightmares, I always tell people, go back and see the nightmare through, because it may be something God may be trying to tell you. Sometimes dreams are symbolic to what you actually want. More so, you dream of money, and then you wake up, you say, "Damn, I'm still broke." So then you said, "Let me go back to sleep so I can touch it again." Well, I say this to say that if you have when God told Habakkuk, write the vision, and make it plain. One thing God will do, He'll give a person the vision, and He'll give them the plan, but He will not carry it out for you. The reason why I say that is because He said, write the vision and make it plain. They that readeth it will run with it. So God don't have to do no more after that. The people that's with you, that you tell, that you trust, they have to run with it. And you don't even have to run. They have to run, because the Bible says, they that run with it, they shall carry it, and tell everybody, this is what this person is doing, more so. So my encouragement to you is to write the vision and make it plain. Thank you for coming.